Hello everyone, welcome to Cloud Institution again. So today in this video, we are going to see setting up an environmental variables for Terraform. Okay, so we are going to see that how to set up an environmental variable for Terraform, and we are going to see how to access the environmental variables through the code, and also how to delete this environmental variable from the from your system. So in order to show you the demo, we are going to see the Visual Studio. Okay, so as you can see here, we have instance types, and so we have AMA ID and instance types. All these things are there. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to do so we already have the variables has been set, and we also have terraform.tf files. So we already seen in this last video. We have terraform.tf files, which is kind of having all the variables in this one. Okay, so if you can see here, I want to do a terraform plan. I just want to see that if the Terraform is up to date. Okay, so Terraform is up to date. So because this is picking up these variables from this default terraform.tfrs. So now I'm going to I'm going to comment this out, and I'm going to do Terraform plan again and see. So it's asking me for AMA ID and then instance type. Instance type. So as soon as I just commented out this particular variables. Okay, so this is what it is. Now if you wanted to do a Terraform, if you wanted to set a Terraform variables in your environment, right? So what you have to do, okay, so you have to set from, you have to set it using export command. Okay, so if you're using a Mac and Linux, and you have to use and a command called export. Okay, so I export, and then so there is another command called tf hyphen. Okay, before that, let's go and see, so what is the env looks like, environment looks like, right? So if you can give env, and you can just see, um, okay, so env. Okay, you can see there are a lot of environment variables already been set, right? So we don't want all these things. Let's see, so terraform env pipe grep and tf underscore var. Okay, so I don't have anything, it's been already set, right? So now I'm going to show you that how to set that environmental variable using export command. Okay, export. So I'm going to export. The command is called tf underscore var, tf underscore var underscore, and then I wanted to add a AMA ID of this one. Okay, AMA ID is equal to, and the value is going to be this one. Okay, so this is the AMA ID. So now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to do a Terraform. I'm going to set a Terraform underscore var. So you can ask me the question like, why I have to be mentioning only this tf underscore var? So why don't I mention tf underscore var, a b l e variable, something like that? So this is the default option that we need to be mentioning for our for our configuration. So for our Linux configuration, right? So this is the default variables which will be taking to export our variables. Okay, so now if you can do Terraform, if you do export, so now if you can see the environment env underscore pipe grep underscore tf underscore var, so it's just giving me a value that so AMA ID is being set like this. Okay, so now if you can go back and do the Terraform plan again. Okay, now it should be asking only the instance type. Okay, so previously if you can see, if you can see it previously, right? So it was asking like AMA ID as well as instance type both. Okay, so now it's just asking only a instance type. Okay, so if you can give an instance type to be this one, and so it is just picking up the like is the Terraform plan is working fine with this configuration. Okay, so now if you want to set again the same TFRs for for the instance types also, how are we going to do? We have to do the same thing, what we did already. Okay, so we have to delete this one. Okay, just make sure that, guys, like it has to be tf underscore var underscore you should be mentioning like underscore here. Okay, so without that it was not going to work. So in this instance type is going to be this one equals, and then t2.micro. And also please remember, guys, there is no double quotes over here. Some people will be thinking that there'll be double quotes here and here, something like this one. So then you don't need to give any kind of a double quotes for this one. So it should work by default like this. Now as you can see here, if you can give like this, and if you can give export, it's going to be giving me an option to like export this variable, right? Now the variable is got exported. Now we can just give like echo we can give just see, let's say that if this variable got exported, how are you going to see env, okay, pipe grep tf underscore var. Okay, as you can see now, so both the variables are exported now. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to do terraform apply. Okay, terraform plan again, or terraform apply also you can do to verify whether it is this variable is working or not. So now as you can see, it is not asking the variables, so it's just picking up the t2.micro variable. Okay, so it's just taking the AMI ID of this one. Okay, so because we have already set these two as a variables like this. Okay, so is it possible for me to change this variable again? Okay, if you want to change this variable again, you have to do export. Okay, for example, I wanted to make it from t2.micro to t2.nano or t2.large, something like that, right? If I can have to do what I have to do, I have to go and export uh, export. Okay, so tf for this is what something which I've been typed here. You can just give the okay. So now it's been exported it, right? Like if you can see, sorry, I've just exported 2 times. So now you can see that variable will not be changed. If you can change the same variable type, so if you can just do the same variable type multiple times, it's not going to be changed. Whenever you're changing these values over here, it's gonna make a new entry in your export variables. Okay. Now, if you can see, Terraform instance type is going to be t2.nano, which I want, that's what I have just set it. I just go to give Terraform plan again. So I want to verify it's t2.nano here, right? So now this is how you're going to be working with this one. So now you don't need to give all these variables. Okay. So now if you can give Terraform apply, just give Terraform apply and let's see if it is able to deploy it properly, and let's just give. Okay, so instance AWS instance web is creating. Okay, why is the web is there? Okay, so we have this Terraform AMI ID is what that AMI ID is we have given, an instance type we have given here. Okay, so this is what something which you need to be checking if you are creating any kind of a Terraform variables. Okay, so now I've just deployed it, right? So now if I don't want this particular variable, okay, so now I just see the Terraform apply, so Terraform variables, and then I'm just seeing like, so it's just asking me that, so there are two variables are mentioned. So how are we going to delete this environmental variable? Okay, so that's also another important concept, right? We can just keep on adding variables, but how are you going to delete these variables? So if you want to delete this variable, yeah, what you have to do is that you have to copy this. You have to copy this ID, so the name of the variable, and then you just do unset. Okay, unset is the command which is used to remove this environmental variable from here. Okay, now I did unset. Now if you can Terraform TFRs. Oh, okay. It is okay. Let me try that instance type again. Uh, okay, I think let me just try with unset underscore instance type. Okay, I think we need to unset that entire command, I believe, because we have exported like this. So let's unset like this. Unset tf underscore var underscore id. Okay, so like this will unset. I'm sure, so now the variable, oh, okay, yeah. So now this variable has been unsetted. Okay, so not this only AMI ID, we need to be unsetting. We need to unset that entire variable. Okay, so now I have just unset this AMI ID now. So if you can go at Terraform plan again now. Okay, so Terraform plan again, it will be asking you for the AMI ID which is already been removed. Okay, so now if you can give enter, AMI ID is just picking something default one, so empty variable is taking. Okay, so because this is showing no infrastructure changes because we already deployed our configurations, right? So now next one is that, instance type is already been there. Okay, so we are going to do our instance type unset also. We can just unset that instance type. Just unset instance types. So now you can see pipe grep TF was nothing is there. Okay, but if you can now, if you go back and do Terraform plan again, it's going to ask me two variables. Okay, one is AMI another one is instance type. All right. So this is how you are going to be setting that environmental variables for your Terraform, and you're going to unset these environmental variables, and then you're going to use your is in your code. Okay, so hope this video was helpful for you. Okay, so if you want to see more videos like this one, so please subscribe to our channel, and we'll be uploading a lot of videos like this in the future. Okay, so thank you so much for watching.